Thank you for staying with us. As we mentioned in our top story, biz confidence is improving. That's according to the LMD Nielsen Business Confidence Index. But there are still concerns over inflation and the economy, despite the rate of inflation heading south, officially at least. Benchmark's Anushan Selvaraja finds out a bit more.
Welcome to the Voice of Business. Shaheen Khadr, the Managing Director of the Nielsen Company, joins me today to shed some light on business confidence. Now, Shaheen, the BCI is back where it has been for most of the last 12 months at 160, which is pretty much its average during this time. You say in LMD's August issue that the trend has been flat. What must happen for the index to break the shackles, so to speak?
I think lots of companies are really not looking outside their usual business as usual or the BAU mode that they are in. So I feel if companies see opportunities for new investments, either to expand their current business horizontally or by vertical integration, or get into a different area of business altogether, I think only then do I believe that there would be a spike in the index. But until such time, there may be a gradual sort of movement, hopefully up rather than down.
There are still concerns over inflation and the economy according to the poll results. Now, why is this so, especially given that the rate of inflation according to the official data is on its way down again?
Anushan, I think what you see is generally when you take business, the rate of inflation should be strongly correlated with the lending rates, bank lending rates. In Sri Lanka, it's not so really. I mean, our borrowing costs for business are over 15%. And in countries like the US, bank lending rates are below 5% per annum, and in countries like Switzerland it's less than 3%. And even then, businesses are grumbling that it's too high, and their countries are facing economic downturns. So going back to the discrepancy between our borrowing and lending rates from banks, so while inflation is declining in Sri Lanka, it is still over 7%, and bank lending rates are, I would say, twice this. So Sri Lanka actually desperately needs borrowing rates or bank lending rates to fall substantially, and this can happen really if inflation falls to 3 to 4%, and secondly the lending rates fall to single digits. If private sector investment is to happen in a large scale in Sri Lanka, potential investors would really need to borrow cheaply, and the financial sector needs to look at reducing the spread that they keep. That's difference in the rate that they pay people who deposit money versus the rate that they charge people who borrow money. And I'm happy that as we speak, Bank of Ceylon have announced that they are reducing their lending rate for certain types of loans to below 10% to around 9%. So I think hopefully they will set the trend for others to follow, and only then I feel that the businesses will really make use of borrowing and sort of look at opportunities even more.
Shaheen, how about Sri Lanka's investment prospects? Your most recent poll suggests that business executives are now optimistic about the FDI climate than they were in June. Now, how come? Has anything changed for the better?
I think while they are more optimistic, it is not a huge change. They are not hugely so. And one must keep in mind that globally FDIs are down due to the low growth prospects globally, especially in the US and in Europe. But nevertheless, the increase in optimism is a good thing, and I believe that there would be FDIs in tourism, for instance, and with it related construction and infrastructure business opportunities would develop.
Now, there is a marked improvement in how the business community views the short term, the next 3 months. Well, according to the poll results, more than 6 in 10 now say they expect better times versus less than 4 in 10 in June. What has changed, do you think?
One thing we see at Nielsen is that consumer spending is increasing, albeit on FMCG or durables, or even on lifestyle spending such as fashion, accessories and eating out. So this increase I would imagine would impact strongly on business revenues, and hopefully this trend would continue.
That was Shaheen Khadr speaking to Benchmark's Anushan Selvaraja. Thank you for your company. We hope you will join us again next week.